Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Storytime Society. I'm your host Jamie, and I'm so happy you're here. I'm so glad you're alive. Thanks for tuning in. The theme of this episode is updates only. Okay, so let's get into it. The title of the first story is It Was Revealed That My Dad Has a Secret Other Family, and Now There's Drama. The story is that my dad had a child with another woman shortly after he married my mom before I was born. My brother, that I didn't know about, is 32. I'm 28 female, and my younger brothers are 26 and 24. My dad gave the other woman money over the years, and her and my brother knew my dad was married and had a family, but none of us knew about them. The only reason my brother, 32 male, revealed the secret is because his son needs a bone marrow transplant and they're looking for a match, and anyone with a blood relation is the best chance for one. My mom feels betrayed, obviously, and I doubt their marriage will survive this. But I hate all the drama and gossiping that is happening in my family. I hate drama in general, and this is like my worst nightmare. Oh my gosh. Okay. That's obviously terrible. Someone said, what I'm more interested in knowing is, did they find a bone marrow match for the kid? And then they said, we only found out about my brother and my dad's family's secret 2 days ago. Oh, Lord. He said, I'm disqualified as a donor because I have had cancer, but my younger brothers and my uncle and my cousins said they will get tested. I would too if I could. Oh, well, that's sweet of you. Someone said, yikes, even if anyone could actually believe that the sexual infidelity was a one-time indiscretion, your dad misappropriated money for at least 18 years, which is not something that is tolerated, even by no-fault states. And as if keeping the secret son and concealing and stealing money from your family wasn't bad enough, he was either a complete deadbeat who had no relationship with this child, or he repeatedly lied to and betrayed your mom by spending time with your half-brother and his affair partner, probably claiming he was at work when he could have been spending time with you and your younger brothers. And Opie said he never spent time with him. My dad gave his mom money, but my brother didn't meet him until he was in college, and they've only met twice before this. The money part, I agree with you definitely. All right, so the whole point of this is that there is like a 3 year later update. So August 25th, he updated. August 25th, 2025, he updated. And it says, I forgot about this post for a while because of everything that was going on. I want to thank the people who posted supportive comments towards me and my family and weren't negative about it. My mom divorced my dad. She could not get past the infidelity and didn't believe my dad that, quote, it was only a one-time indiscretion. She was devastated when she found out. She's doing better now, but it still hurts sometimes. They were married for 34 years, so it's been a big adjustment for her. She moved into a new flat and is trying to move on. My relationship with my dad has been destroyed over this and how he acted. Same for the rest of my family. Regarding my nephew, it turned out that while no one in my family is a match, my brothers, my uncle, and my cousins all got tested, the then girlfriend, now fiance, of my cousin was a match. She agreed to the transplant. It was complete fluke because she isn't genetically related to my nephew, but she has given him a second chance and had no hesitation about agreeing to give. Everything went as well as it could for my nephew, and he's doing great now. I was ineligible to give my bone marrow because I've had cancer in the past, or I would have been tested too. My nephew is doing great, and that's all we can really ask for. We've gotten to know my brother, his wife, and my nephew. My brother has only met or talked to my dad twice in his life. Once when he was in university, and once to tell my dad that my nephew needed a bone marrow transplant. Total time for both meetings put together was less than 30 minutes. My dad was never involved in his life and was against my brother contacting us. My dad tried to intimidate him into staying away, even knowing my nephew was sick. We don't care what my dad says, though. My brother wasn't trying to get money or anything from us. It was just about trying to save my nephew. I've never met my brother's mother, but apparently she's doing well and is in a committed relationship, and my brother gets along with her boyfriend. But me and my family are focusing on getting to know my brother and his wife and son. I mean, that just shows how selfish. Like, obviously, he's selfish and he made that decision. He did that. But then to try to intimidate him when he's just trying to get help for his son because he needs a bone marrow transplant, that just shows, like, he never, ever, he didn't even learn from that. After 34 whatever years, he didn't even learn from that and, like, try to grow and be a better person and be like, it's fine. Like, obviously, it's more important that your son my grandchild gets a bone marrow transplant than me keeping that secret from my family for any longer. Like, I would rather you be able to save your son. But clearly he's a fucking selfish prick and he doesn't care. Someone said, I'm happy your nephew is all right and I hope you all continue to thrive, except your dad, of course. He can rot. And then someone said, that's honestly amazing that you've been able to reconnect with your brother, his wife, and especially your nephew. It sounds like a real second chance for your family, and I'm glad to hear your nephew is thriving after everything. It's wild how things lined up with your cousin's fiance being the match, like it was meant to be. As for your dad, of course he tried to keep your brother away. If he had his way, he'd still be living the high life, pretending none of this existed and coasting through life, instead of facing the consequences of his choices. The fact that you all ignored him and chose connection over his intimidation says a lot about your strength as a family. And then someone said, I really like how basically everyone except the shitbird dad was like, well, gotta save the kid. That's the priority here. Yeah, no, the dad's priority was literally just saving his own ass, which is just crazy to me. Like, you're actually the worst type of person ever. And tell me why. Like, you did no self-reflection within 30 something years. That's just actually mind-blowing to me. That's mind-blowing. Mind-boggling, love. But we're going to move on to the next story. Okay. The title is, Woman has come forward claiming her child is my half-brother to try to get a part of my father's estate, despite the fact it is impossible. What can I do to make this woman go away or pay for this stunt? So here's the situation. My father passed about 2 months ago from natural causes and left everything he owned to me and my sister. His estate is worth over $5 million, with almost half of that in liquid assets. His estate is being split up now, not because me and my sister are fighting or anything. Did I just say me and my sister are farting? Not because me and my sister are fighting or anything. The two of us are just working together to see who wants what and figuring out what to do with the rest. But that isn't the issue here. About a week ago, a woman we'll call Stupid Bitch, SB for short, contacted my father's estate attorney, claiming that she had a secret child with him and demanded he get a third of the estate. I have never met this woman or even knew she existed until then, but apparently she is the daughter of someone my dad went to high school with, so it isn't out of the question at first. But here's the thing. My dad was diagnosed with testicular cancer 15 years ago and had both of his testicles removed. So unless this kid is at least 14, then it's impossible that it's his. So, entertaining the thought, I met with SB and was surprised to find out the secret child is 9 years old and looks nothing like my father. During this meeting, she demanded her child's share of my dad's estate and wants 9 years of child support in cash. She claimed she would sue if he wasn't added into the will. My dad's estate lawyer said that if SB's kid passed a DNA test, he would, but she refused. She claims she has had a secret letter from my father acknowledging this kid as his own, but refused to provide it. The meeting ended with my father's estate lawyer telling her to pretty much get out until she's ready to do a DNA test, and her claiming that she would see us in court. It's pretty obvious this is not my dad's kid, but SB is still trying to take from us. My question is, what can I do to make her go away? What kind of legal action can I take to make her disappear from my life? If she does try to take action against me and my sister, what can I do to make sure this biatch gets what she deserves?
If you want extra content weekly, head over to patreon.com/storytimesociety and become a member on there for extra content. Love you.
Clearly, no one's going to be like, yeah, hand over the estate to him. Like, even if she really tried to sue, which I highly doubt because she knows, unless she's rich and just wants to sue someone for fun, which she probably isn't because otherwise I don't think she would be wanting this money so badly. But they clearly just got so much money. They have money to fight against this person. And then also, like, you think a judge is going to be like, yeah, give him the estate. He deserves a third of the estate because you say so. Because you say that this kid is his child, even though the evidence proves otherwise. Like, he got his testicles removed and you won't provide a DNA test or show this secretive letter that you're talking about. So what makes you think that, like, anyone is going to take you seriously and be like, yeah, okay, yeah, you're right, he needs to be written into the will, this random little kid that literally we don't know where he came from? Huh? Someone said, let your lawyer handle it. Ask him to send her a letter telling her she is not to contact you at all, but only him when she is ready to take a DNA test. If she does not contact you, he will deem it harassment and pursue your legal remedies. Then block her from contacting you. And OP said, attorney said, just don't respond or tell her anything until she takes the DNA test or goes away. If she sues, the estate will take care of it. T. The estate. Oh, I will never get an estate, but I'll build my own. I'll build my own estate worth $5 million, okay? Okay, the update. The update is 4 days later. Seeing as the last post I made got popular, I thought I would come back and give an update. As much as I wish this ended dramatically with SB getting arrested or embarrassed in court, I'm sad to say this isn't the case. So after I sent SB the text telling her to stop contacting me, she began to blow up my phone with voicemails and texts. I saved them all, obviously, and forwarded them to my father's attorney. The day after I made my first post, my attorney had sent a letter to SB. Won't post the letter here, but I'll paraphrase to the best of my ability while trying to interpret all the legal talk. Quote, if you believe your child's claim to my client's estate is legitimate, please submit to a DNA test as your earliest convenience. If an independent DNA test confirms your claims of my client's paternity to your child, we will see to having him compensated as according to local laws for the requested child support. On the claim of getting a portion of the estate, my client specified in his will that his estate would be left to his children, OP and sister. Unless you are able to provide the letter of recognition as you stated in my office on the 22nd, we will consider that your child was either disowned or unacknowledged by my client and will proceed as such. If you're unable to provide the claim letter, I advise you to seek legal counsel of your own. On the topic of your continued contact with my client's benefactors, I suggest you cease it immediately. They have made it clear they do not wish to associate with you outside of legal dealings. If you continue to contact them, I have recommended they take legal action against you. The best part has to be how he ended it, however. Quote, if there is the possibility that your claims of my client's paternity to your child are misinformed or fraudulent, I suggest you admit to this and cease contact with me and my clients. If you continue these actions under false claims, not only will you be receiving a bill for my time, I will suggest that my clients take legal action against you. While this was going on, my sister tracked down SB's parents and got into contact with them. It turns out that SB has not had contact with her parents in multiple years. But that is not the important part. Apparently, this is not the first time she's done this. Apparently, she pulled this same stunt with another man when this kid was born 9 years ago and got paid off to leave him alone. I also forwarded this to my attorney. So fast forward to this morning when I get a call from my attorney. SB is retracting her statements, claiming she misunderstood the situation and no longer believes her son is my father's. So yeah, no dramatic ending, sadly, but I guess this is over. Thanks for the advice originally. I know some people were asking why I came here when I already had an attorney, and to be honest, I see where you guys are coming from. I was pretty stressed, and with this woman trying to steal what my father had worked his whole life for, I really just needed a place to vent and look for advice on what I should do. Thanks for that. Slay to that legal letter. I was going to say legal person. Slay to that lawyer or whatever the hell he is. Someone said, WTF, did that person not have the sense to demand a DNA test or other proof? And then someone said, she's gaming grieving people that have money. Not everyone is strong enough to keep fighting idiots when they're hurting. This woman cheated people once and now she thinks she can keep doing it. I hope OP and their lawyers wreck her for good. Same, because also you're using your child as a pawn, which is also crazy. It's like, not only is it just insane to be like trying to get money from people, but it's also like in a scammy manner, but it's also insane that you're using your poor child as a pawn in your game of trying to scam people out of money. Like, that is just sad. That poor child, like, I hope he's well cared for. We are going to move on to the confessions/advice section of this episode. If you ever want unprofessional advice from me, there is a link in the description. It's a Google form and you can fill it out. And you can also The sad thing is I can't log in to see my Google Voice number right now, so I can't tell you what it is, and I'm so sorry about that. But you can also leave a confession in that Google form, or you can call and leave a confession and ask for advice as well. If you happen to see the number on another episode, I need to figure out how to get logged back into this account so that I can freaking get into my Google Voice. So this advice question is, and there's a trigger warning, grape and CP. She says, or they say, "Hey, pretty, I absolutely adore you and your videos. You always bring me comfort. I'm also from Iowa." Anyways, I love that. Fellow Iowan. I recently found out about a week ago a friend of mine / coworker is on the Iowa sex offender registry for rape of a minor. I stopped talking to him as soon as I discovered it, and I almost threw up. I did in fact cry and ended up telling my therapist everything since I had an appointment the next day. I told her everything and how it was affecting me. Another thing about this friend is that he would always hit on me and was telling people he wanted to have sex with me, and I had no clue. I have a hard time trusting men to be my friends since my best friend in high school also only wanted to hook up. When I moved to CR, I made a new friend at my work who told me he was 28 and was actually 31, but I found out eventually. He would tell me that I needed to break up with my boyfriend and that he could treat me better. I had just turned 19 a month prior. We had a party and I had been drinking, and he came into our game room I was in and just sitting on my phone, and he closed the door and started to touch my leg and was gradually moving up. My other friend, who is the only man I trust other than my boyfriend, busted in the room screaming at him. I haven't talked to that guy since, but we hang out with the one who saved me on a regular basis. But last night I found out another coworker was arrested and released for CP. He had 8,300 photos and 300 videos. I started bawling once again, and I did throw up this time. As soon as I got to work, I did start telling people, which is bad on my part, but I'm not 100%. I just don't know what to do with this anymore. Any advice would be amazing. I love you and your videos so much. I watch them every day and have seen every single one. Signed, Another Iowa Girly. Okay, well, first of all, I love you so much. Thank you for submitting this, and I'm so sorry that happened to you. I'm so sorry all of this happened to you, and I totally understand. I also do not trust men, and I also have had the same experiences with really good male friends that I just wanted to be friends with so badly that just always ended up wanting to hook up with me. And I actually despise that. It's truly so mind-blowing to me because I feel like in so many instances that is the case, and which is why I always say girls can be friends with guys, and I do think that there are some guys that can be friends with girls, but so many times there are just the guys are only wanting to hook up with the girl that they're friends with, and it's really crazy to me. It's why can't you just be friends and you can find other people to hook up with? Why do you have to take advantage of a friendship? I don't know. It really pisses me off. And I've always had that experience. There's one guy friend that has been one of my best friends since I was in 7th grade, that has truly just been my friend and has never tried to do anything. I always would hang out with him growing up, and we still talk to this day. And that's really the only guy that I've ever been super, super close with that didn't have hidden agendas. And it's so annoying that guys always have a fucking hidden agenda. And I think it's fine. I would do the same thing. I would tell people as well. First of all, it's not your fault this sicko had CP and got arrested for it. I think that it's better more people know about that so that they can stay the fuck away from this person than to hide that. What are you going to hide that for? You're not trying to protect him. And if someone's trying to protect him, then they are sickos, because that is absolutely not okay. Let's not protect a freaking child predator. That's so scary. So I would say you're doing nothing wrong. That's literally my stance. I think you're totally fine if you want to tell people. Tell as many people as you want to tell. And maybe people will disagree with me. I don't know. But that I stand 10 toes on that. Like, I would genuinely be telling people, I would be telling everyone he knew so that everyone knew to stay away from this weirdo freak. But that's really all I have to say. And I'm so sorry that happened to you. And I don't think you should feel bad for telling people and informing people of who this monster is. But I love you so much. And thank you so much for submitting that. The next question says, I love your videos so much, and I really hope this one makes it because I'm struggling and really in need of your advice. I've always known I was at least bi, but recently I've been thinking more about my sexuality and wanted to explore more possibilities. My only problem is my boyfriend is absolutely amazing, and him and his family treat me so well, and it's really hard to imagine my life without him. I'm also scared of hurting him because he would be completely blindsided if I brought this up to him. There is a girl at my work I've been talking to and hanging out with, not in a cheating way, just friends. And I honestly think I have feelings, but I feel like it's a little too early to tell, and I feel absolutely horrible for thinking about someone else in this way while in a relationship. Me and my boyfriend are also only 18, so I know I shouldn't trap myself in a relationship when I want to experience more, but I'm so scared of my life without him in it. Any advice would be much appreciated. I need someone with a little more life experience to help me out. Thank you. Well, I think the fact that you are like scared to not have him in your life is a little bit, and I'm saying this with as much love as possible, but it is a little bit unhealthy to feel like you're not going to be okay without this person in your life. Because one thing that I've really learned as I've gotten older and just like throughout my life is that you need to be okay being by yourself, because once you're okay being by yourself, you can really get through anything. Like, you can get through all of the hard times. You can get through breakups, friendship breakups, like hard times, just knowing that you're going to be okay by yourself and trusting the relationship that you have with yourself. So I think that is the number one thing I would say. Is I honestly would recommend, since you're having all of these doubts and thoughts, and it seems like you would benefit from breaking up with him, going through a little self-discovery moment, like really getting comfortable being on your own by yourself and realizing that you are totally okay without this person in your life and you don't need to depend on that person. I think that's the first thing that I would work on. And you are going to have to hurt someone in the process, but unfortunately, sometimes you do have to be selfish in order to grow. And honestly, I think that it's more selfish to stay with him, knowing that you're not wanting to really be with him and knowing that you're questioning being in the relationship, if that makes sense. Like, I think that it's better for the both of you if you're having doubts and things like that. And I understand how it feels like, when you have a boyfriend that you really love, it's very, very hard to think about breaking up with them. Like, I struggled a lot with that when I broke up with my long-term ex-boyfriend. I had to think about it for weeks, like just writing in my journal, crying, like not knowing what to do, feeling so bad that I was going to hurt him. And then now that I look back at that, like, I'm so glad that I did, because if I ended up still being with him to this day, like, I know I would be so miserable. And so I would definitely recommend going your separate ways with this person, trying to do a little bit of, and I'm not saying you have to like really discover yourself and be like 100% healed. I'm just saying that I think it's worth it to try to be confident in yourself and being alone and enjoying your own company, because you become so powerful and unstoppable when you get comfortable being alone and by yourself and really truly trusting yourself to survive dependent on only you, if that makes sense. And I'm not saying it's bad to like depend on other people sometimes, but when it becomes something unhealthy like this, like being so scared to not have someone in your life, then that's kind of when it gets unhealthy. And then after you kind of give yourself a little bit of time by yourself and try to figure out, self-discover and work on that side of things, go explore your sexuality. I think that now is the best time when you're young and you are really questioning it and you want to figure things out. I think now there's no better time than the present to do so. So I hope that helps. And I honestly feel very confident about that answer. Like, truly, I do feel very confident about that. So I hope that really helps you, and I love you so much. But that's the last question that we're going to answer. I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. Obviously, if you guys have any advice for the advice questions, leave it in the comments, and remember to be kind. And if you haven't already, please press the subscribe button and the like button and leave a comment below, please, because I love you and it really helps push out my channel on YouTube, Spotify. I don't think you can comment on Apple, but okay. I love you guys and I hope you enjoyed this episode. Talk to you in the next episode. Bye.
Storytime Society is now available on all listening platforms. If you are on any of those listening platforms, I would really appreciate it if you rated me 5 stars. Thanks for all the support.
Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.